all the way back in 2012, an above average sized kid just happened to stumble upon youtube.com and found a video of a Swedish man, the now world famous PewDiePie, playing a game that I had never even heard of called Happy Wheels. It's the first time in my life I can truly remember witnessing unabridged violence and swearing, all out chaos. And I loved it. It was sick.
Alright, yeah. Front flip.
From about that point on, YouTube became my main source of entertainment. I would not really watch Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. I would watch YouTube. That's all well and good now, but that was 9 years ago. Was it really a good thing for me to be watching that kind of content at 12 years old? And was it right that YouTube didn't have anything to stop me? There's always been a discussion about what is acceptable for younger kids to be consuming and how it might affect them. Everything from video games, starting with Mortal Kombat, and then movies and TVs since, the dinosaurs roamed the earth. The thing is that YouTube for the longest time was just this free-for-all. You could just watch anything. Of course, I really didn't think about it much at the time. I mean, I was 12, but I was still consciously aware that my parents probably wouldn't appreciate me watching it, but that obviously didn't stop me. After all, what was so different about me watching it on YouTube compared to playing games with my friends? It's not like getting called slurs in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby was really any better.
Kennedy. Yeah, seriously. Just shut up! You're all ugly, shut up!
So what was so bad about it that my parents tried to talk me out of it? Or in some cases even took away my iPod so that way I wasn't able to watch it. It was similar to how after seeing Karate Kid with my brother, him and I both acted like we were MMA professionals for at least a solid 6 months. I began to mirror the people I was watching online. I began to mirror and emulate the people I was watching on YouTube. And I would do it not just when I was playing, video games with my friends, but in everyday life. They kind of began to be a sort of role model for me. Who doesn't want to be like the likable and entertaining guys on the internet who are obviously popular? Like, what's so wrong about that? My parents saw little that they could do to kind of control the content that I was watching without just watching it over my shoulder with me. 12-year-old John could just click away on whatever he fancied. Adult supervision at an all-time low and my curiosity at an all-time high. It's a recipe for disaster. Meaning that their impressionable lack of know better kid could be influenced by anybody. And anybody is a really scary concept when it comes to shaping up who your kid is going to be. I think that the majority of creators never have any evil intentions of influencing kids to be little shits, but parents, including mine, had a right to be concerned about this all new wasteland of individual creativity influencing their kids. YouTube has since rolled out YouTube Kids, which in my opinion is a real show of maturity from the company, even if YouTube Kids creates a big pain in the ass for creators like me, because the rules are really complicated, but I think it's a net positive. I think of all the personal production platforms that have kind of come to fruition in the last 10 years, YouTube is the most refined. The level of production and professionalism a lot of us put into our content these days was unheard of in 2012. And most creators tend to be half-decent people just sharing their life and their content for the enjoyment of others. Some even actively use their platforms to inspire others. I think the biggest difference between YouTube then and now is that creators are very aware of the level of influence that they have. I think the biggest difference between YouTube then and now is that creators are a lot more aware of the influence that they have. A lot of creators these days won't even swear if they know they have a younger audience. Back then was unheard of. That isn't to say that creators are perfect at all, I've been a major fan of certain creators that have in the end disappointed me. Most of them haven't, which does give me hope for the future of the platform. As well, there's a lot more transparency about who YouTubers are, and it's generally beneficial for YouTubers to be honest with their audience. These days, if you're really full of BS and you lie all the time, it's gonna get sniffed out. I would not be doing what I'm currently doing if it wasn't for the influence of YouTube at such a young age. But that kind of puts me in a situation of bias. But what I can say is that I love what I do, and a part of me wanted to do it before YouTube was even really popular. I remember watching iCarly and thinking, that's sick, I want to do that. I got my first camcorder at like 9 years old. And when it comes to a career in creativity, it's nice to have individual freedom. Working at these big corporations that might not let you stretch your legs the way YouTube can, it's hard to say that YouTube is a bad influence on kids. I went to film school, I didn't like it. I still like cameras, I still like film, but it was just obvious that that kind of career was not going to work. I did not care about, who does what. I wanted to just do it all. YouTube and YouTubers and other creators have influenced me to be a little more independent, which I don't think is ever a bad thing. I don't feel the need to work for any big corporation like Disney or Amazon. I can just do what I feel like I want to do. It's a bold claim, but I think YouTube has been a net positive for society. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you watched to the end, you should probably consider subscribing. YouTube's gonna recommend our videos to you anyway, so it would help out the channel. Leave a like, also helps out the channel. Comment down below who your first favorite YouTuber was and how long you've been watching YouTube for. I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe and kick some ass.